Now we should be live. Is it working now? It better be working now because I pushed every freaking button I could think of to push. Do I think we're getting a Laya rerun on the 5th of September? I don't think so. They've mentioned nothing about her banner. They also are trying to sell her in a pack, so I don't think they would sell her in a pack when they've got the ability to pull her on a banner. Alright. What have we got to do today? We've got a lot to do today. You can be a filthy Zeo cleaver now? Grats, Rustafarius. It would be a bad business decision. Oh, we lost. Yikes, we lost hard. We should be getting the Gala rerun later this month. I would expect it, right? We're about a year past for Gala. You bought the selector ticket for Janua and Bird's Eye View. You need those. Was Bird's Eye in there? I know Janua was. Was Bird's Eye? Is Gala worth pulling? Gala is very worth pulling. She's an incredibly impactful unit. I would say she's probably one of, if not the best, limited to get on that list. It's either Gala or Laya, depending on what matters more to you. I just don't know if I'm willing to spend $100 for an artifact imprint. Yeah, make sure you take a trip to Japan, official. Get it for 60% off. Take that down to like about 70 euros. If you're going to do it, definitely go to Japan. If you get my drift. You're not good on E7, so you're just trying to learn. So am I. I'm terrible at this game. Oh, hey, they evidently broke Rhythm Surfer on, what do you call it? They broke Rhythm Surfer on LD Player. If you hit too many buttons at once, it starts clicking all kinds of random spots on the screen. This anti-spamming, thing happens. So, the, blue stacks trick in my video, that still works. Should you wait and use your energy and leafs? We've got like an 8-week-long buff event, right? I think they're doing some additional special buffs across this coming weekend. If you want to see how they stack up and wait for this weekend, go for it. Tristen, you know it well in as Discord, I will always ask around with gears and stuff, but I don't have a good understanding. Oh, that's fine, that's fine. Is there a nice guide for Raid, especially for new players? I got Wukong and I'm like 2 months and I want to check it out. I haven't got there yet. Today I'm going to work on some really easy teams for hunts. But yeah, I could probably put together a Raid one for you. Sputnik, is Japan the new Turkey? Right now it is. The exchange rate is so good that Japan is less money than Turkey with the coupons. I mean, unless they've got some new special coupons, and also Japan lets you use PayPal. VSN, I have got the attention span of a goldfish. Would you do me a favor and jump into that Discord and, shoot me a DM and remind me to do that? Yeah, I know, the P-Flan buff got nerfed, Aqua. I'm not thrilled about that. It's, well, let's talk about it for just a second, right? Let's see. I think I've got link to that here somewhere. Surely there's a stove post about it, right? Okay, where is it? Epic 7 client update distribution notice? This is talking about the PC client, huh? Sorry, I just got distracted. The PC client distribution notice. An Android app update will be distributed to resolve issue. Oh, okay. This isn't about the PC client. Oh, well. I got excited when I saw Epic 7 client update. Dirty. Profile cards, Ezra Foundation Day celebration, digital merchandise screenshot. I'm not seeing a link to it in Stove, but this has been sent to me a few times, right? Big old line through the Pirate Captain Flan buffs. So the whiners win. People that don't understand RTA, don't have a good knowledge about what this buff did, that somehow, through mental defect, saw this as a nerf. They convinced Smilegate to roll back a change that was going to make Pirate Captain Flan a very solid, usable unit. We got the actual stove post here. Thank you for that. Following the balance adjustment on 9/12, we had gathered various opinions from our heirs. After careful review, we have decided to exclude this hero from the adjustments initially planned for the 12th. Additionally, we will change imprint concentration of Judge Kisei. Thank God, right? Why do they remove her need for effectiveness? So they're changing... If they change her concentration, doesn't that mean they have to change her Zodiac? They would have to change her Zodiac to do this, right? Which would change her base stats? I'm curious to how they're going to do this. If they're going to make an oddball Zodiac that just has a different imprint than all of the other Zodiacs of this kind, or if they're going to change her Zodiac, which will also change her base stats, which was one of her biggest issues, right? Dear Epic 7, we appreciate the interest and support of our heirs. With these bounce changes, we plan to implement 6 heroes, 2 artifacts. With this bounce change, we've made some heroes. Okay, so they scrapped it, guys. The people that are obsessed with a ineffective 2021 style way of playing Pirate Captain Flan, the 1 or 2 people that still were actually using her and almost sometimes maybe winning with her, got their way, and now this C-tier unit who sees 0 play in Epic 7 statistically, she is the 133rd most picked unit. That means 132 units were drafted more often than her last season. That's practically Sigrid's draft rate, guys. She wasn't being used, and the handful of people that said this ruins her for RTA, she was already ruined for RTA. Her kit was outdated, and what do you do with an outdated kit? You update it. Death Dealer Ray had an outdated kit. Destina had an outdated kit. Charlotte had an outdated kit. Every single person that cried and complained about the changes to that kit were proven wrong. I love the DDR outrage, and man, those comments about how he's useless now and his kit's ruined, those didn't age well, did they? Neither did Destina. So yeah, it kind of sucks that this happened for the reason it happened. I am actually kind of happy that it happened because of what I think she might have done to the game, right? I was not looking forward to fighting Flan and DDR. I was not looking forward to fighting Flan being backed up by Landy or Solitaria or Bellion or any other unit that spammed extra attacks. We're already in a very, very heavy control meta, and having this unit roll in with even more control and the inability to resist the control, because most cleanses Now, not all, but many cleanses are backed up by buffs. I don't know, it just looked really, really disgustingly toxic to fight. And on top of it, they made her an insane nuking damage dealer. If there were two if there were two bombs on a unit, she could kill any unit in the game with an attack buff, and without an attack buff, she could kill, like, any unit in the game that isn't named, like, ML Senya, right? It's crazy the amount of damage her S1 could do into a defense break, and I know there was some RNG on it, but 75%, you really want to bank that you're just gonna 25% resist instant death to any unit on your team? So, it's probably a good thing. It's probably good it's not happening, because you would have seen this unit drafted in just about every single fight. Now, it's sad, because this unit goes back to being drafted, like, practically never. The one or two people that still picked her and somehow eked out a above 50% win rate, I'm sure there's at least 3 people out there that picked this unit with above a 50% win rate. Those people are probably happy now because they can go back to using their 2021 style play and enjoy their time in Masters and Challenger. Because Flan is staying absolutely the same. At least the other 4 units have a shot at being moved from the C tier up to higher tiers and being usable. I dislike that we're taking a unit out of play. Right? She was not in play before, suddenly she was in play, now she's back out of play. We're in a period of time where diversity in RTA is the biggest complaint. And people are so sick of fighting the same 8 to 12 units over and over and over again. And this patch focused on that biggest complaint. It focused on taking completely unplayed out of the meta units and giving them a shot at being playable and in the meta. Just like the EE for Spectre Tenebria is centered around giving her a more diverse set of builds and options and synergy to try to see if they could nudge her back into gameplay. They're trying to give us more than just 8 to 12 units to watch. So it's kind of sad that we're losing that, but I'm also glad I don't have to deal with it now. I'm mostly sad that this happened for the wrong reasons. This happened because people thought one of the most insane buffs that we've seen since Death Dealer Ray was somehow a nerf. And I got nothing to say to those people. It just makes me wonder if when their mothers gave birth to them, they had a clumsy nurse handle them. I just don't understand how people can look at this kit and see anything but a staggeringly impressive buff. Anyway, enough on that. Nubit said, concentration is based on Zodiac. Yes, I'm 99% sure that concentration is based on Zodiac sign. I might be wrong on that, but I thought it was. You didn't even know Destina revived until you made your new account. Yeah. To be honest with you, this is how weak Smilegate is. Removing one unit from a small balance patch. I wouldn't call it weak, Sakai. They're in a time where they're trying to deal with low morale.
This show how weak SG is. Removing one unit from a small balance patch. Not double down on the idea of the buff and add something more. And not even trying to change the current plan.
I'm not going to go so far as to call them weak on this. They have had a rough time lately, if you hadn't noticed. In the morale and PR department from the overwhelming consensus on the stove post was from a bunch of people who don't know how to play RTA or were parroting what other people told them to say. The overwhelming consensus was negative. If you were Smilegate and you looked at the stove post, you would take it as a pretty strong community snapshot that this is not wanted, and they don't want to ram something down our throats that's not wanted. It's bad for morale, and they're kind of in the middle of a period of time where morale was really low. Now, they have just reversed that, right? Morale is skyrocketing right now with this anniversary, with this event, and everything that's going on, and they don't want to lose that momentum by doing anything that's going to upset the community. So they put this out to try to satisfy the handful of people who are still angry about this, right? Putting out fires where they can. Hopefully the other patches will be nice, but man, I was looking forward to doing horrible things to people. I love playing Control and I hate playing against it. I think this would have been the unit everybody complained about. This would have been the new DDR. Not just the new DDR, but run with DDR. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, all of these posts are pretty, Well, now some people are saying they want the buffs retained. You know, people are starting to see the light and understand how things are going, right? Poor Smilegate. They can't win. They can't win. No matter what they do, Stove's gonna be mad at them. Now I have no reason to build my Pirate Flying. Yep, mine gets to stay on the bench too, Schlong Dolphin. Very upsetting. Oh well. Reddit was melting too. Yeah, Reddit's only slightly smarter than Stove in most of their takes. Yeah, right, Joke? Joe's nailing it here.
If I understood her buff, it would have made the team for Rimmerus, and I would have hated to fight that.
Yeah, Rimuru is an entire meta, and it turns your entire team into a pack of Rimarus. Not to mention, do you have any idea how much damage her S1 would do? Check this out. One of these days I'll bookmark this page. Let's give her, let's go conserve. Let's give her 3,000 attack, right? And we'll give her an attack buff, sure, why not? And we're gonna have not two burns. We'll have 2 bombs on there, right? 2 bombs detonated would do 6,315 damage right now, right? Annoying, could kill some squishies, but it's more about the control than the kill, right? Look what happens to this damage if you slap a defense break on there. What am I missing here? Hang on a second. Pyroflan, 3,000 attack. Attack buff. Oh. Oh yeah, sorry. So I was looking at the bomb detonation. Yeah, so 2 bombs right now, she does 14k damage with her S1. Right? 14k damage with her S1. If she stuck a defense break, 23,209 damage. She one-shots anything that has 2 bombs on it. Even if it's only 1 bomb, 13,500 damage is enough to kill most landies. It'll at least cripple something to the point that the poor stunned unit that doesn't get to take a turn will get killed by something else. God forbid you put a burn on there with it, you're up to 17,000. 1 burn, 1 bomb. 2 burns and a bomb, now she's one-shotting anything in the game that's not named ML Senya. And people said her S1 was a nerf, and that she didn't need a defense, that the defense break did nothing for her. Madness. Absolute madness. And then some people were like, just let her keep the extra turn. Can you imagine this plus the extra turn? So you get this right out of the gate. Right out of the gate, you get to drop 13,500 damage onto something, then CR push your entire team up? Oh my god. People were crazy. It's probably for the best it's gone. It's probably for the best that it's not happening so that we don't have to deal with it. I just think it sucks that it happened because people thought it was a nerf. It just shows a profound lack of understanding of how this game is played. Does Torrent affect bombs and burns? It's true damage, it shouldn't. It's just a fixed scale off of her attacks. I don't think it does, but let's see. 13,494... Yeah, the only difference is the damage from her S1. You'll notice the bomb and burn damage doesn't get impacted by it. Only the skill itself. Yeah, it's 150% of attack, and it already has a built-in 70% pen. So by the time you add defense pen to it, 70% defense pen into 70% skill pen. I'd have to crunch the numbers, but it should be right around 89, 90% penetration.
TLD are people like buffs, not reworks.
Yeah, but what could you buff on her that would really have changed her usefulness? Her issue isn't that she's just a little bit outclassed by other units. Her issue is that she's got a 2022 kit. And it's hard to use in a modern meta. But yeah, people didn't like being told, you know, people remembered having good success with her and felt like they only needed to have a slight buff so they could relive those glory days of good success with her. And that's not how it works. The game has changed and moved past that. She needed a different kit in order to function in any meaningful, impactful way. Now she is relegated to a C tier, very, very niche pick unit. Or very, very niche build unit. Hey, Rigby. Good to see you, buddy. I'm beginning...
It's not Smilegate's fault.
I'm beginning to think that they reverted because she was too strong.
I wouldn't have scraped the buff. ID tweak it to a point, it's a buff, but it doesn't make that buff broken.
I don't know that I agree, wrong number, because they said that they took the community's feedback and made the decision not to proceed with the buff. And the community's feedback was not, she's too strong. That was the feedback from almost all of the Emperor to Legend player RTA players of the game. But most people don't send feedback when something gets better. When was the last time you stayed in a hotel and filled out a review card about how nice your experience was? But you have one shitty experience, you let them know. So most of the people that thought this was too strong or thought it was good and balanced, they didn't say shit.
Like they won't touch her for a long time now after this backlash.
No, yeah, she...
Pirate, bland,
You're right, Hada. That's why I'm sad, right? That's why it kind of sucks. I really like Pirate Flan, right? I mean, this is how much I like Pirate Flan. She's my desktop wallpaper. And it's kind of sad that now now she's not going to get used for a very, very long time. It will probably be well over a year before we see her touched again after this. Because she's a pirate and she's hot and you're not the boss of me.
Good Sir Tristen. Pirate Flan doesn't have a red hair. May I ask why she's your wallpaper?
I just told you. I'm allowed to like different kinds of things. Okay, guys. Surely luck comes to us this time. Or we just get a 4-star artifact. That's okay. We take powder. Yikes.
It's not Smilegate's fault that most gacha players have the reading comprehension of a grade schooler. They have to talk down and explain things to them in simple terms.
I have a kid in grade school who's greatly offended by that. Okay, what do we have to do today on the
Since
dash?
People think it's a nerf, good I think it's for the better. I don't want to deal with another DDR accident.
That's the silver lining I'm trying to see from this, right, guys? Is that the, it might be for the best. It would have been really, really unpleasant to fight against this unit. And, it might just be for the best. I'd like to see them increase diversity without, like, crushing us under her heel. Make sure you guys pick up this girl from your connection hero. This is one of the best utility units in the game. And I love that she's in the connections now. Imagine making Pirate Flan with DDR and Monk, right? I don't want to imagine it, Slossapalooza, unless I'm the one doing it. Hey. Don't be mean. Ooh, purple flash. Ah. Hello, Croze. Ooh, more purple.
You say that like you wouldn't want to be crushed under her heel, Pepelor.
Thoughts on the reverse flan? I think it is probably healthy for the game that we're not going to be subjected to such a strong unit. To such a unpleasant to fight, debilitating unit, and I hate that the reason that she got buffed, or
Silver Blade Araminta by giving her an extra turn, 100% stun, and a 25% CR push for every stun landed. Dench.
Yeah, guys, for everybody just rolling in, I'm very aware that this happened. It sucks that the freaking smooth-brained, don't know how to play RTA to save my life people convinced Smilegate that this was a nerf and canceled it. That's sad. It is nice that that we're not going to have to deal with it, right? Because Pirate Flan was going to be so unpleasant to have to fight against, that she had real potential to unbalance the game. Real potential to unbalance the game. This nerf was so strong that I think it knocked on the door to DDR level strong, and I think that it's probably a good thing for us that it's not happening. I just hate that it's not happening because people whined and are convinced that they were right, that it was a nerf, and that somehow she's better off like this. Because she's not played at all, and it sucks because with backlash like this, they aren't going to buff this unit later. It'll be well over a year before we see them try to touch Pirate Flan again, if ever, and it sucks because she's not played, and I like this unit, and unless there's a huge meta shift in the game, I don't see a way that she is functional in all but the most niche uses, or when you're just steamrolling people in bronze and gold. She was great for aggro with these changes, Pooty. She was insane for control with these changes. Are you kidding me? 23k damage on an S1? Rolling into turning every single person on your team basically into Rimuru? And being able to control? Can you imagine running this unit with DDR? Can you imagine running this unit with Solitaria? Madness. Thoughts on the 100 Skystone cost for 1 ML summon? I think people are misunderstanding that. I think what that means is this event is over in 54 days. And if you join... let's say, 18 days before the end of the event, you can use 100 Skystones to unlock the summons to get to this after the event's over. That's not what it says. That's not what they typed. I don't know if the guy was drunk when he typed it, or if it's a serious, they translated it from Korean into Mandarin into English, and that's just the way it works out, but I think that's what it means, guys. I think it's a catch-up mechanic, kind of on par with the Battle Pass in Arena, where if you can buy days in advance if you need to catch up. I think this is the event ends.
Director for his 7/20/25.
Don't you waste that, don't you wish that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I think it's a way for people who join late to not get screwed out of their guaranteed ML5. They can spend Skystones to finish this off. Even after it's over, it will remain behind with 100 Skystone costs. Instead of free, it'll say 100 Skystones, but you're not going to be able to summon beyond this 100th day with 100 Skystones. I think just at the end of this 54 day, this thing will probably stay up, and this will say 100 Skystones. And if you completed it, it's done. And if you haven't completed it, you can pay to complete it. That's what I think they meant.
The person with the highest voted comment on Stove, who said to revert to buff got exposed as a negative win rate barely champ player that rarely uses her.
Yeah,
His
that.
DG stats got posted on Stovelmauer.
Yeah, I saw that post. That was pretty toxic. It was toxic and hilarious at the same time. Can I show you my Frida build? Sure. So my Frida is, where'd my music go? I was watching your guide and found that Sirmia had different builds. For example, for expeditions, for hunts, do I need to build 2 or is there an alternative to her? No, I leave the expedition build on for doing expeditions. And the shifter to the full-on DPS when there's some specific reason for her, right? Like I need her for Hall of Trials or to accomplish some event, but I'll pull Sirmia up first over Frida because she's a redhead and actually attractive. Let me see. Just put her on this for right now. So, I like her to be north of 150 speed, right? She's on speed boots, but with no real other speed, and it just lets her take enough turns in expeditions to get the job done. But you only really use her in light expedition, which won't be back for 2 months. So if you want to build attack boot DPS Sirmia, go for it. Frida. So this is my Frida. She's specifically speed tuned into my team. When people ask how fast she needs to be fast enough that she is either your first unit or she is 20 a push away from your first unit. So you can have your first unit use their soul burn. Frida pushes up to the exact same speed tuning pole position. She uses her push up, which pushes up the bridge unit to its pole position. Let me try to explain this with pictures because I'm just confusing myself talking about it. So this is probably my favorite team to use.
When the skin tier lists since new players got 220 skin tickets.
Skins are very, very personal choice. Making a tier list on there would just be, the comment section would tear me apart. So in this team, right, my Luna's 300 speed, right? And she gets 10 speed from Watcher Shuri, so she gets to go first at 313 speed. She soul burns, and the 280 Frida with her passive is going to increase by 20%, right? So at 280 times 1.2, she's sliding up to 336 speed. I could even slow her down, but at that guarantees that after my Luna Soulburn, she gets to go next, even if I have to deal with something like Abyssal Euphine on the team, right? And then she uses her S3, which CR pushes by 25%, my second fastest unit, which is going to be Watcher Shuri. And the nice thing about her Soulburn, or about her artifact, is it will give me 15 souls, so that Watcher Shuri can Soulburn his S3. Now when Watcher Shuri Soulburns his S3, that is 2 Soulburns to push Ludwig and the CR pushes he gets from Frida, so my slow Ludwig will get to go next. He's speed tuned in to go right up to the top of the line with all 3 of these burns, and 2 soul burns will max out his stacks with the 16% crit chance I get from Midnight Bloom. I can kill anything. I average between 40 and 60,000 damage when he drops his S3. And that's how I cleave an arena. So if you're using Frida to build a specific team, you tune her into that team.
Makes a skin tier list for skins he would offend someone's waifu, and then Tristen will get cancelled.
Do I have any guides on Katie's 13 one-shot? We're going to make some new ones, right? But what you want to do is... Where did it go? Let's go over here. Slide into YouTube. And you search for... TristenWulf C13. 90-second one-shot. No ML5s, full auto, 100 to 90 to 100 or 100 to 120 second runs. Now, the one-shots on Katie's are so difficult. It's better to just go with a reliable, fast team. You want to build one? You guys want to build a Katie's team? I was going to do a Wyvern team with really, really, really low gear, but do you guys want to do a Katie's team with really low gear? What would you prefer?
As long as summer Tristen and desert Jewel divine possess tier, the tier list will be fine, don't worry.
Katie's it is. Let me pull up my old Fribbles file here. Okay, so let's see. For a Katie's team. If you don't have this unit, get her from your selector. Right? And let's see. What's reasonable gear for her? I can't lose the speed set. Tell you what, I'll put the speed set back on. We'll maybe take the weapon off. How is this Frida? Let me see, Rigby. I'd drop all of the ER and get 25 to 30 more speed on her. I think you're going to have trouble using her at that speed. Hello, S1F. Okay, let's unequip this. I'm not sure if I can do this without the ER, though. I planned on doing this using Fribbles for a lower build requirement. I hadn't planned on doing this one today.
Thing if you make a skin make it with bare feet so too can adore.
You can't get more if you can't get more speed on her, try, but I think you're going to have a really hard time using her at that speed point. You'll have to only take her into really, really, really tanky opponents who don't try to speed contest. They just try to tank down and go slow. So you're going to have to pick her late in the draft, or you're going to have to take her into arena for very, very specific teams. You're going to need an opener that can soul burn and push at the same time, maybe. Do I normally stream on YouTube, Jake? Nope. This is the first time we're just giving it a test run, see how it works out. Tell you what, let's try it. I'll just use Bastion to make up for the ER. And let's see, we need Christie.
For Cades 13, I use Camilla, Brig and Lorena, and Dean, and they are on their expo builds. It is very safe and fast.
I'm trying to go with a relatively low gear requirement and very accessible units, right? Christie and Rowana everybody should have. Christie everybody should be able to get. Let me see. 251. I guess this is okay. I don't know. We'll just leave her on this for now. I don't know if it's going to do us any good. And let's get mascot Hazel on the team. I might have to put gear on Hazel. Okay, right. A free unit that you get from hunts, a couple of 3-star specialty changes that probably everybody will get from summons, and Rowana that everybody should have either from selectors or just from naturally having, right? So this is a pretty straightforward basic team. Let's see, Sirmia, can we dog her skills down some? Let's, how about we try a Destro set, since not a lot of people have Rage set. And we'll do, we'll just do a crit set. Give her lots of attack. A little bit of speed. Lots of crit damage. None of this. That's too good. Let's do this. Damn it, the stats are too good. How do I drop 50 crit damage off? Oh, I know. We'll break the set. Hey, thanks guys for the follows. Sorry, I'm between screens here, so... Okay, how about that, right? 4K 316, I just broke the destruction set. That's pretty trash, right? And, even though it only works at 50% power in Katie's, it's still worth it, so let's put her on Daydream Joker. Nice 3-star artifact. And as for mascot Hazel... I'll put her on this. I don't think it's necessary, but every little bit of pushing helps. Let's see. About HP boots. Just to make her a little thicker, because... Yeah. Let's try it. I will work at getting these stats a little bit lower. This is just for experimentation. This should work. I mean, these units are key, right? We want to try to have 200% effect resistance on our cleanser and on, really on everybody. 200% effect resistance should keep us pretty clean. Do I have ER on my Sirmia or no? No, we're just relying on the ER from Christie and from the artifacts to take care of her. Okay, so let's go into hunts and see what happens. Oh, for crying out loud. Hey, for those of you who haven't seen this, when you click this arrange button, yours probably says auto select, right? And when you click it, when you click this gear cog, you get a screen that looks like this, and you can select what gear to save or not. This will change your life if you don't know about this. Click on simple selection, right? Click on simple selection, pick a gear score. If you're relatively new, 24. If you're a veteran, 26. If you're endgame, 28. Probably good, right? Select this. Tell it to exclude equipment with speed substats, right? You do this, and now when you hit the simple selection button, it automatically highlights everything that doesn't have a speed substat that has an equipment score lower than 28. The only things it keeps that don't have speed subs are pieces that are 28 equipment score or higher. So you do this and you basically keep all your speed checks and all your gear that's worth rolling based on your position in the game. And now you can go through and speed check the pieces. Now, one thing, a warning, it will get rid of speed boots. You noticed I went over at the speed tab and looked at all my speed main boots so I could lock them if there was a keeper. So do that first and then go through it. And it'll only keep your speed subs, which makes speed checking so much easier. Ugh, friggin' 2 into a 2. I've got standards. Yeah, every time I show this off, somebody's like, where's this been my entire life? They snuck this into a balance patch and they never really even mentioned or drew attention to it. And it's such a great quality of life. Oh my god, 3, 2, 3. Come on, give me a 9. Didn't want that piece of gear anyway. Sorry guys, gotta make some gear. But yeah, as far as the equipment score, I mean, look at your general quality of gear. If when you do a gear run, you speed check, you roll really good pieces of gear, 29, and if you're struggling to gear units, go 26, go 24. 28's worked fine for me. I think trashing things that are lower than 28 or the higher, going up to like 30, man, that's like elf mage territory. That's only for people that have got insane gear. Okay. That's okay. We forgive one, right? We forgive one. Fine, fine, fine. Show me 8 into attack. We take it. 553. What a nice piece. 96 equipment score. Yep, it'll find a home. We got enough room to do this fight yet? Nope, we gotta do 2 more. Is farming Goblin worth it for the charms? I would not farm the Goblin unless you are under, say, under 2 to 3 months of gameplay. Damn, that was going so good. The gear is great for just starting out. To seed your account with the gear, you need to overcome stuff, but once you get to the point where you can farm a hunt or a rift, I think you just walk away from Goblin entirely, start farming hunts and rifts. I think if you're still only farming like Wyvern 10 or Wyvern 9 or Banshee 8, then yeah, you farm the hell out of Goblin. But once you get to the point where you're doing Hunt 12s and Hunt 13s, you stick with Hunt 12s and 13s. My 2 cents. Might be a better question for Deity. He's actually spent a lot more time on a brand new account chasing that. You chase 2 speeds and off-speed sets. I have a 24 speed ring that started at 2 speed. But when it rolls 2 speed twice, then I'm out. Then I'm out. Yeah, I speed check everything. His guide sent you straight into Wyvern 13. I swear I saw him doing the goblin stuff. Maybe it was Valky I saw doing the goblin stuff. It's not gear that you will... Anything you get from the goblin you will not be using 2 months from now. I can tell you that. But if you're struggling with content, if you can't gear all of the heroes you got, because you're going to have a lot more heroes than gear as a new player in this game. So it's a really nice way to just throw some stuff on them and get them on the field. But beyond that, yeah. God, that rolled so low. That could be crit chance, though. We'll give this one more because it's the right stats. Okay. Oh my god! That was a tragedy. Shakespeare couldn't write shit that sad. Okay, now we are free and I can actually do stuff. Would you do a guide on re-rolling gear for new and mid-game? I might have to collab with somebody on that one. That is a complex freaking guide. Real complex guide. Brieg's Hero Path worth it? Brieg is worth it. Now, what you might want to do, Buiton, is you might want to use a selector to get Brieg. And then when you complete Brieg's path, you can imprint him, because Brieg's imprint is HP, and he's an HP scaler, and he needs to be thick, so that's not a bad use of Brieg's imprint, right? Because it just depends how fast you advance through the game. I'm not sure if you're going to need Brieg before you get to Brieg in the path. You're going to have to make that decision. If you feel you need Brieg, then go ahead and select them. But it'll probably take 3, maybe 4 weeks to grind through that path. You know, they set that adventurous path up to last the entire run of this anniversary, give or take. It just depends how aggressive you plan to play the game, right? Okay, ooh, everyone's skills on. Get her skills on. Let's see if this works. Nice hit there. Cleanses up. Brieg is mostly used for expeditions and some PvE content. He can be used in Wyvern, but he certainly isn't necessary for Wyvern. You just don't see the value of using a selector on a free unit. If you already have the unit, tracing imprints, okay, sure. But first copy? Nah, fam, I can't. I agree, but if it's gatekeeping you from advancing in the game, then sure. But we have done, we've done PvE for years without Brieg. Sure, he's best in slot for a lot of stuff, but it can wait. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Yeah, Ravens, they're actually making you play the game in order to get one of the best units. You gotta spend the stamina. You're gonna spend it anyway, right? I used him on Wyvern and he's good, but not necessary, like you said. Yeah, I'll show you the craziest, freest team you've ever seen for Wyvern after we do this. How we doing here? It's not fast, but it's pretty stable, right? We're down around 73% health. Starting to stack up the injuries, though. Non-attack skill will cleanse the danger level on Sirmia, so now the Cadies will focus on someone else. This S3 will extend Sirmia's Gab an extra turn. Get all of these CR pushes from all of these dual attacks happening from Rowana just being on the team. No, Mr. Kenny, I do not want to turn 2x speed off. Is this team 100%? I don't think I've seen a fail yet. Now it's slow. We'll do some quick battles after this and see, right? We got 10 quick battles. Because this is what I would do, right? I would do 10 to 20 quick battles on this. And then if you want to farm Cadies more, you turn this on and you click the auto button and you go to bed and you wake up to, 15 to 30 completions depending on your pet level. And you do that every single day and you get about 100 runs of Cadies a week between quick battles and that. Then you got all the pen gear that you need. Or you just run this in the background while you're doing other stuff. Sure, it's slow, but if it's consistent, who cares if it's slow? I just cleared today on a new account. Did the account yesterday. Wyvern 13 with Angelica, Furious, Mui, and Sigrid. That's a good combo. Okay, guys, we just killed the Cadies on full auto. Sure, it wasn't fast, but it worked. And it was safe. How consistent is it, though, right? So let's see if it's consistent. So we'll do 10 quick battles into it, right? This ought to be a little bit laggy because I'm on LD Player and I'm running OBS and I've got YouTube up and I've got Twitch going. So forgive it being slow or asking a lot on my computer here. Oh my God, Ross. Please do this on a device, guys. Oh shit, it failed! Okay, there's a consistency issue. What was the effect res on Rowana? I think she was 130, but she was also wearing, Bastion. So she was at, like, she was over 200 at the start. High enough that it should have been. It's laggy even on phones. Yikes. It's looking pretty consistent, guys. We had that one fail, so we're at a 75% clear rate. We get another fail, I'm going to have to go back in and retool it and retweak the gear. 80% success rate, clearing Adventurer's Path. This one's taking a little long. This might be a fail. Nope, that one went through too. And mind you guys, if this isn't working for you, use the same team on Cadies 12 until you get better gear. It'll crush Cadies 12. And I think most of the Adventurous Path stuff, it only needs to be Hunt 10 and above. You don't need to do Hunt 13 early on. Do you think Kitty Clarissa is a good sub for Camilla if you don't have the Tachi artifact? Are you talking about the expedition video, Mr. Kenny? Because on that one, if you don't have the Tachi artifact, you just turn her skills on and let her run. She'll self-attack buff, and then by the time her self-attack buff wears off, Tamarin's giving her an attack buff. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta grab this real quick. It's the home office. Sorry, guys. Real life is trying to keep me from playing my video games. Brieg is far into the adventurous path, but what you're telling me is you could just place Angelica, Grace of Growth. Yeah, this is solid, right, guys? I mean, sure, we had one fail, but a 90% clear rate? I'll take a 90% clear rate. And the gear requirement was pretty low. I mean, she wasn't even wearing a weapon. I'll try to retool this and do like the lowest gear requirement and put up minimum stats if you want to replicate it. I think this is the hardest of the free teams. But, yeah, I think it's an easy solution. Now, you want a Wyvern solution that doesn't involve Brieg? No kidding. I used to use Aether in my Wyvern team back in the day, but Momo's just too good. And, so we got a connection hero. She's not in connections anymore, but you'll be able to pull her, right? She's an easy pull. We'll run Sigrid. You get her doing the hunt challenges, so she's a free unit. And, oops, wrong button. And let's run Furious. Mine's only level 50, so that's okay. And we'll run... Oh wait, Mui's a thief. Where are you, Mui? Here you go. 3-star Awaken, level 50 Mui, right? With Mui on the team, anything in the front line gets attacked at CR pushes you. So let's see. How's our Momo built? Surely we can get crappier gear on her. All my crappy gear's in storage, guys. This is awful. Tell you what, we'll break her speed set, right? We do need a little bit of effect resistance, though. Not a lot, just a little bit. 198... 199... 200, there we go. So we broke her speed set. Is there any way I can get rid of health without getting rid of ER? Not really. Okay, you're just gonna have to trust me when I say you could take 5,000 off of this health, and she's still going to be fine frontlining. Okay, she's plenty tanky enough for this job. She's kind of overkill right now. And let's see. Mui even on gear, so we'll put Mui on Daydream Joker because he does contribute to damage. Let's see, what can we do to get his effectiveness up? We'll give him a effectiveness main ring. Sort by lowest equipment score. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And how about this? And this. This. That. Okay, so the key takeaways here are over 65 crit chance or effectiveness and 100% crit, and try to get him north of 200 speed. But I mean, this is all 85 gear, except I don't have any 85 boots, right? Why the effect res on Momo? Because when the Wyvern S3s, if you have less than 200 effect res, your unit gets CR pushed back. So she'll get pushed back 3 times, which will make it very hard for her to keep up with the healing. I don't think it needs it, but it increases stability. We'll try. I'll try taking it off, and we'll see what happens. Well, let's see. Is Furious on gear? Tell me he's still on gear. I don't have to redo all this again. Let's see. Here's my old file for Furious. All he needs is 65 crit. He's got that. He's got the crit chance. Just put him on some random speed boots and he should be fine. Oh, he doesn't even have his EE. That's fun. Let's see. Speed. Boots. Can have these. Yeah, that'll do. If you have Song of Stars, it would be ideal here. But, let's just put something else on him. I don't know. It's a good Ranger artifact. Affinity Basket? You know, we'll just leave him. What's he on? What's he on? Alsatian Spear. Okay, he could decrease the combat readiness of the Wyvern, whose combat readiness can't be decreased. Yeah, Candle would be better. Anything would be better, really. Let's see if this works. Is definitely not going to work. Wrong hunt. Yeah, I could just do DDJ for more damage, but we're just gonna take it in and see if it works. Hello, Eggsu. Sorry, guys. I was busy building, so I missed it. What do we got here? I run General Purgus up front for my Wyvern. Yep, but he's a 4-star ML. Not exactly accessible. See the CR pushes whenever Momo's hit. It's just so nice. As for how to gear up Brieg, would you say HP? I think 170 speed is the target for Brieg. I think if you go above 170, he's actually goes too fast and makes him harder to use on the Dark Expedition. I think 170 to 175 is a good speed point for him. But, you know, speed tune him into your team. Let me see. Yeah, you're right. Furious gets the crit chance buff, so really, I'm really overcapped on crit. We didn't check to see if Sigrid's on any kind of gear. I hope she is. You notice how, because she wasn't pushed back, she was able to stay ahead of the healing. Now, maybe it's not necessary, but I think it helps. But we'll try it without ER and see what happens. Off topic, but what do you recommend we pick from the level 8 random boxes? Or level 88 random boxes. I mean, I always say speed set. It's the most important set in the game, but you can also use it to go after, after hard-to-get sets like penetration set, even torrent. Depends where you are in the game, but everybody needs more speed, right? Yes, Mui turns the front unit into General Purgus. That's his passive. He also has a defense break in his kit. Timing's a little bad here. We got the defense break right before the cleanse. Get me a defense break. Much like the Katie's team, it's slow, but if you're brand new, it's all free units. Free or 3-star, which with the amount of summons we're getting, should be really easy to get. Attack buff also helps for Mui. Slap Alabastron on him for extra debuffs. I still like the Daydream Joker on it. He does pretty good damage with it, but that was pretty clean, guys. That was really, really clean. Let's see how clean it is. Let's go pick up our quick battles. And let's put it to the quick battle test, right? Okay, show me what you got, team. Yeah, slow doesn't matter. We can background farm on auto, when you can set it on auto and go to bed, when you can quick battle every single day. Those Adventurer Path missions looked really hard until you realize you can just slap together a really easy, low-gear, free team that, sure, it's slow. Don't get all hung up on the one-shot videos. Just build a nice, slow team and chew through it. Sigurd, not for new players. New players are Alexa, Misty Chain, Lena. Sigurd's free through the Hunt Challenge. We had a fail. Probably got some RNG where I didn't stick any defense breaks the entire time. You can do the Hunt Challenge and get Sigurd for free. But yeah, you could probably run Alexa in Sigurd's place and work just fine. I think getting Sigurd's easier than chasing an ML, but sure. So again, 90% clear rate on full auto with relatively garbage gear. Especially with the free gear that you guys are getting when you just start out. Holy smokes, this would be easy to build.
That profile card frame that you get from our TA. I forgot how to do it.
You should just be able to click on this, and you're wanting to change the frame on your avatar, or this frame that goes around your profile card. You click on the button that says change frame. And you select the frame. Oh, profile card? Is it in here somewhere? I don't know. I've never done it. You can't change the frame of the profile picture, only the card itself. So the frame is just there, Meep. It's season rank locked. Okay, so once it's in, right? Do I have Giselle? Yeah, I've got Giselle. That's what she looks like when Stenny doesn't steal her gear. It's a fun unit to play. If it wasn't for Ludwig, I'd use her a lot more often. Can you do a Rat Banshee? I can, but Rat Banshee takes some really, really good gear. You want a ridiculous way to farm Banshee? I hate that this works. I'm not going to do the whole thing, because it takes forever. Take your Christie. Put her right here. Take your Falconer Clury. Put her right here. Make sure that Falconer Clury will have 200 effect resistance. So we got 204 here. That's technically... Yeah, so we got 204, about 200, so that's 100 effect resistance going to the back row. And Flurry has 120, so we're well over 200 effect resistance, right? Well over 200. And that's it. She doesn't need anything else. A little bit of crit chance makes this a little bit more stable. A DPS artifact makes it a little bit more stable. You can put Christie on, what do you call it, on a nostalgic music box to help give additional buffs and healing. This is the worst thing ever. She doesn't need boots where we're going. Oh my god, so let's find something to talk about while this is going on. What is this strat? This is the... It just wins. It literally can't lose. They either hit the front unit, which pushes Flurry, who heals the team, and she just slowly chews through everything, including the boss. It's impossible for her to die. And if you've got the time, this can be your first clear for Wyvern 13 with absolute gutter trash gear. Or not Wyvern, Banshee 13. Now, if you want to speed it up, put 2 other green DPS units on the team who can kill some stuff, right? It's okay if they die at the end, because Flurry all by herself will polish it off. So if you put Vildred, you put Bologna, you put Giselle, literally any 2 green units on the team, and this can go faster. Hey, Wolf, how can we get Brieg? Gilson, you can get Brieg by completing the Adventurer's Path. It'll probably take several weeks to get Brieg that way. Some people are even thinking maybe it's best to use the Selector to get Brieg early, and then when they eventually get their second Brieg from the path, they can use that second Brieg to imprint and give their initial Brieg more HP. Or you can just accept the fact that you're not going to have Brieg for several weeks, and you'll eventually get them for free from the path, and then you can do Brieg things. I wish I had better news for you, but it looks like he's pretty far down the path. Does this work with the fast battle? Yes and no, Rez. Yes and no. The fast battle times out. If the fight lasts too long, I think somewhere around 15 minutes. If the fight lasts too long, it'll auto-fail because it thinks it's like frozen or locked up or something. But so all you need to do is just put 2 other DPS units to speed that first phase along fast and do a little bit of extra damage to the Banshee, and it speeds it up pretty quickly. Is 250 decent enough speed for Frida? It depends where you're taking her. If she that's enough to bridge into really, really slow tank down teams. It's enough to bridge if you take some speed imprints like Vildred on the team with you. It's enough to bridge if your opener will also CR push Frida above and beyond the soul burn. Then yes. But there are going to be places where you're going to be very unhappy that she's not at least 270 speed. Isn't this the dumbest thing you guys have ever seen? Curious about my thoughts on your last message, Noreen. Let me scroll up here. Sorry if I'm missing your messages, guys. Two checks is a lot to juggle. For the 6th anniversary, I went back and watched some videos, came across your brutal metal lore video. I'm actually curious, are there any chance maybe having more content down the pipeline? That video was rough. That was a lot of effort that went into that video. I even threw a rock at my webcam. But, I had a lot of fun making that video. I might make another one down the road. Undecided about it. We'll see. Should flurry skills be off? It doesn't really matter. I think the defense break is nice. It speeds things up a little bit. But it works with her skills off, too. Looks like Christie's gonna be taking a dirt nap pretty soon, and it'll be a flurry solo. This is where if you put Nostalgic Music Box on Christie, the self-healing can help keep her alive. Yes, it takes like a whole ass day for this to run, right? But you do it on quick battle, and you get your, oh god, it's slow. You'll think your game crashed. You put this on quick battle, but it will chew through all 10 of them. It's so stupid, right, Pharaoh? It's so stupid. Is Shaltir any good? Shaltir is very, very good. I'll find that that metal video and post it here in a minute. Can Ervalin work for Rift? Can Ervalin work for Rift? I don't think so, because Ervalin's skills are all single target, and Rift you want to have AoE attacks. If you don't have Wukong, just do Hunts. Hunts are not that more, or not that much less rewards, and you get more things from Hunts, right? You get reforged mats, you get bookmarks. There's a lot more you get from Hunts than from Rift. The only thing you get from Rift is a lot more gear, and a lot better gear. So once you can do Rift, that's great, but if you can't do Rift, it's not like you're getting left behind. Yeah, Norigori, I'm just showing this to prove a point. You do this on quick battle. You sure as hell don't do this, as a way to farm Banshee. I mean, unless you're really, 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 really early in the game, then yeah, you can use this to farm Banshee for 25 to 30 runs every single night. You set it, you go to bed, and when you wake up in the morning, all 30 runs are just about finished. No, Rift is not worth stressing over. If you had Wukong, then it would just be easy and you go for it. But yeah, Rift is late to end game PvP or PvE, and you're still hovering in the mid game. Right, Jambu? Yeah, there's a lot of ways. There is dozens of ways to do this better, but I can't think of a way to do this, like, with lower gear. She's dead! Now just do this 100 more times. So you saw how long that took, right? If you want to do this on quick battle, make your life easier and just sort by green units, right? And find some good damage dealing green units, right? Like, you know, Vildred. And, I don't know, who's another good one? How about Sid? Oh, Vivian. Vivian would have been a really good idea. Speeds it up just a little bit, right? Now, pretty soon, the Banshee's just going to kill everybody, probably after the split happens, but this makes it a lot less painful, guys. So if you're doing quick battles, it doesn't have to be Sid. It doesn't have to be Vildred. It could be Green Armin. It could be, what's his nut? The mage, can never remember his name because nobody ever uses him. Anyway, any green unit that brings a little damage to the team, helps you speed through these fights. Wow, they're actually surviving. I thought for sure they'd be dead. Well, this should kill Vildred, right? Sid almost died. There we go. Now Sid's out. But look, I mean, there's only about 30% of the bar left, so it's much, much faster. So put any 2 green DPS units. Violet, Alencia, the frick is his name? It's bugging me now. Oh, Adelaide. God, man, Adelaide. I don't even have him built. Put Adelaide on the team. Put Lucy on the team. Lucy's not a DPS. I'd run a DPS. You don't need more support, but put put some damage dealers on the team. Vivian is probably your easiest because she's free. How about a restrict with that Sid, right? It doesn't matter. As long as you put 2 other damage dealing units on there with Flurry and Christie, just help speed it along. Suddenly, that was decent speed, right? That was no slower than our Wyvern team or our Katie's team. Suddenly it makes it a farmable team for full auto. Because remember, when you're just starting out, you're not looking for one-shots. You're building towards one-shots, but you're looking for consistent auto teams. You want to get out of the early game, and the early game, guys, the early game is when you're sitting here staring at these maps. You're chewing through the continents. You're pulling your new units. You're farming the goblin to get your gear. You know, you're just starting to realize that this game is less about units and more about gear. And then you hit the middle game, and the middle game is when you are starting to build your hunt teams and you're going for your auto hunt teams. And then the late game is when your hunt teams are now your one-shot teams, and you're looking for efficiency, right? You want to have a hunt team that's going to one-shot stuff and chew through things quickly. You're looking at building a rift team, possibly. You're starting to climb into, I don't know, deeper into Abyss. And then you get to the end game, and the end game is where everything kind of slows down. You're engaging in RTA. You start to care about things like gear score and speed tuning and fribbles. And then you get to eventually build a team like this. How good is the Rift Dash event? Unsure if I should make a team for the event. You talking about the buff that Rift is getting? The buff event for Rift? It looks pretty good. Or are you talking about the gear, the extra gear we get from it? Quick question. I have a Wyvern 13 team. Good consistency at Chapter 3 right now. Should I start working on a Banshee team? When you start to want Banshee gear, yes. When you start to have units and gear needs that center around counter or lifesteal destruction, for sure. Or you can just run the stupid flurry cheese team and have it running in the background, you know, all day for 1 or 2 days that aren't a buff event. This is my 100% clear one-shot team. It's that fast, and it never fails. But it requires incredibly high-end gear, crackerjack tuning, and a limited collab unit, so it's not one that I talk about too terribly much anymore. Can I please remind you why time matters suggested on Vivian for Banshee? Of course. So, when you, when you use Vivian's skills... I just went into my storage. At the start of the fight, Vivian uses her S3. Attack buffs everybody, and then her exclusive equipment CR pushes her down the line so she can S2 right away. And you want your Vivian to be strong enough that when she S2s, she murders the entire enemy team. Now what time mattered... Now with Vivian's S2, it's got a 2-turn cooldown, right? So... she's murdered everybody with the team, and now the skill's on cooldown, which means once you go into the Banshee's Phase 2, when you're actually fighting the Banshee, her next attack will be with an S1. And an S1 has a 3% chance to dual attack with somebody on the team. And if she S1s and dual attacks with your damage dealer, you can over-damage the Banshee, and it makes the Banshee transform and split into the multiple little Banshees, and you can't one-shot anymore. Now, if you put Time Matter on her... what that artifact does is when you kill somebody, it reduces your skill cooldowns by 1. So if she, in the first stage, uses her S2 and kills the entire stage, her skill cooldown goes from 2 to 1, and that means once you go into the Banshee stage, she starts off with an S2, and the S2 can't dual attack, so it eliminates the 3% RNG failure condition. So that's all it does, is it adds some consistency to your team by taking the chance of her dual attacking and pushing phase out of the equation. You don't need it, it's just makes it more consistent. I know a lot of people, they can't quite get the damage on their Vivian, so they put her on, what do you call it, you know, Our Beautiful Seasons, or Tonfa, or Portrait, you know, something to give extra damage. Caladra, I don't know, just some damage artifact to help her get the extra kill in. I built your team with Singelica, Ken, Rem, and SSB. It's working wonders, thank you. I'm glad it's working, Igor. It's probably one of the easier gear requirement ones. I think the Arya team is probably the lowest gear requirement one-shot. Who is the second better one-shotter after Biken? Strays. Give me a second here. I don't really want to use Ram because Ram is probably the second best. I think Euphine or Green Bologna. Yeah, I think you're right, Eduardo. I think it's going to be Bologna. Where is my... You guys have convinced me to remake all of my frickin' hunt guides for this. Not that one. Three different teams. Here we go. Man, this is before I did camera and voice. So we got a Biken team, we got a Ram team, we got a Oh, this is a neat team, right? This is a really nice free-to-play option. It uses Lucy, who you get from the side story. And the nice thing about Lucy is she puts restrict on people. And with the Banshee, the thing is when you overhurt the Banshee, she CR pushes to the front of the line and transforms. But if she's got restrict, she won't CR push, and it gives you time to do additional damage. This uses Landy, but it could just as easily use Bologna. It uses Charles, but it could just as easily use Pavel or Vivian. Man, the 1x speed you guys wanted. Don't miss this, do we? So her S3 just to get it out of the way because her S2 is what you want to use. You could use Charles and Vivian and stick Bologna on the team for this. Oh, it's like they're running underwater. Defense break. And then she puts restrict on, right? And the restrict is what keeps her from CR pushing. And this lets you damage her below that threshold, right? Now she's activated, she's ready to transform, but she didn't CR push to the front because of the restrict. And that lets you continue to pound on her even after the phase should have changed. So you could do this kind of a team with Bologna, with Landy, with Charles. But yeah, it relies on sticking the restrict and sticking the defense break. So it's kind of a double RNG team, only about a 75% clear rate, but it's fast. With quick battles though, honestly, with quick battles, I would just stick with the flurry team with 2 DPSs on there. You think you could free Spirit Tiara instead of Rose? You could use free Spirit Tiara. You could use Leo. There's a lot of S1 defense or turn 1 defense breakers now. You could even use Falcon or Clary, but yeah, it's a neat trick with a restrict, right? Make a Rift team or a Banshee team. You have Wukong. You have late game. Your 1-year-old account. You ready for your Wukong Rift team? Oh, there it is. They finally illuminated it so you see where it is. Ooh. I likey. We'll level that. Pardon me while I level this gear. Show me something beautiful. It's 1-off minimum on both rolls. Make it better.
Tristen and I have something
Ripperino.
here to their favorite game. Who can use this gear? Mine, if I show.
Yeah, go for it, go for it. Watch your Labyrinth video for coin farming with Euphine, the one that runs. Only one's missing is an ML Rin. And you don't have Rimuru either. There is an alternative, but it's terrible. It's a terrible alternative. You can time it with either Elena or Crimson Armin so that you get the gold immortality shield. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. I keep getting the immortality confused with the gold shield. Okay, yes, there is an alternative, but it's even worse. It's even freaking worse. Remind me after we do this, I'll show it to you, but it's effectively, you build Euphine with counter set, and you go from you counter every turn to you counter 30% of the time. It still works. It takes 3 times as long. I would just literally recommend you just table it. You want to get ancient coins. You do it the old-fashioned way, right? You go into battle, you go into Labyrinth, you go down into the Great Fosh Library, or Labyrinth, Great Fosh Labyrinth, you go to Area 5. You build a incredibly high morale team. Highest morale team you can build. No, don't go into a fight. Don't go into a fight, son of a bitch. Okay. You go up here, you clear left and right a little bit, you teleport over here, you clear this area out, you go down here, you pop over here, and it's once you're out of morale, then you go back and clean up all the corners. In this hallway, there is always 3 of those, like, piles of garbage that have coins in it. Why do you need Rin or Rimuru is because you're going to use them to steal the counterattack buff off of one of the enemies so that you counterattack 100% of the time. It makes it much easier. But you just go around and do the fights in here. The Great Foch Library has got the most loot, the most ancient coins per entry. There's always 3 piles of garbage in here that you can loot. So what you do is you walk around, and once you get to 50, morale, you just teleport everywhere you can teleport, and you walk around and look for chests, right? You teleport here, you step out, see if there's a chest. If there's not, you go back, teleport here, see if there's a chest. Once you've done all that, you teleport back here, you walk past your already cleared area, you go up here, you get that junk pile, just milk it for all the coins you have, and then you exit. You don't get 1,000 coins, but you can do it every day, and it's decent coin payout. It's how most of us got our ancient coins before we started cheesing with Euphine. How much coins do I get doing this? If you really want to see, we can do one after I kill this Rift team. Here's your Rift team. No kidding. Skills off. What's his gear requirement? Mine's on an RTA build. You need to be strong enough to not die to the first swat. Once you knock most of these tentacles down, then nothing can kill them. Yep, it's just Wukong. No, there is no way. Because Smilegate made Bernard specifically for this. And there's no way they would make him specifically for this and then take his job away, right? Yeah, mine's on lifesteal. If you don't have lifesteal, you can put him on a damage set. You can put him like on rage set and then give him a, or destruction set, even better. Or attack set or speed set or whatever, and you can put him on a healing artifact like Sigurd's Scythe or Golden Rose. Or you can use a lifesteal set and then he can wear his own artifact and it lowers the gear requirements, makes him tankier. Can I answer the question from above about that orb where you got that gear from? What was the question? What was the question about that orb you just got from the gear? Do we get access to that just by hitting level 60, or do we have to actually complete Rift? You actually have, it's a random drop from Rift, right? Up to 4 of them can drop per week. And it's just kind of the buff for Rift, right? 4 of those can drop per week. They're guaranteed to be really good gear. There you go. There's your Wukong team, or there's your Rift team. Do you like it? Ooh, shiny. Yeah, this has got some potential. We'll roll that. Now, if you want to speed this up even more, speed imprints stick around after death, right? So you go and take, you go find some speed imprints, right? Like, wait a minute. Let's do it this way. Sort by name. Sid. Where's the other Sid? Here we go. Not this Sid. I just shoved a whole bunch of Sids into this level 5 Sid to get a 10 speed imprint. Now my Wukong is 10 speed faster. And, who else did I use? Mukacha. Mukacha is not only an 8-speed imprint, but give him enough effectiveness that he can stick his S3 on there, because his S3 is a defense break. So Mukacha's got just enough gear on to ensure he sticks the defense break and survives the initial tail swipe so he can get the hit off. That's why I made him level 50, so it would take 2 hits to kill him. And that ruse is too strong. Here we go. We'll use this good pupper here for another 8 speed imprint. So now my Wukong is effectively 10, 18, 26 speed faster than normal, even after all these guys die, and I get a defense break at the start, and now it goes even faster. This is my Wukong. It's just a standard PvP build. Nothing fancy. He would be better for Rift if I put him on a destruction set and gave him Sigurd's Scythe and a little bit more HP so he doesn't die from the initial swipe. But this only works because I'm already RC21 and I've got all of these Rift controllers, right? If you're still RC1, 2, etc., you're going to have to actually build a whole-ass full team around farming this because you're not going to have these special effects that let Wukong survive, right? Predominantly this one, starting the battle with immunity to all allies. You don't have this, you're boned. So, because it's a permanent immunity, it never goes away. So for starting out with Wukong, you want to go over to YouTube and you type Rift TristenWulf. And this is the best team to use with Wukong, just starting out. This is for RC2 through RC8. It'll tell you which devices to have on it. And then once you pass up into RC8 and you're ready for the next tier, you go with the, oh, and here's for doing it without Wukong. For those of you mad lads that want to try to do this without Wukong, takes more gear, takes some specific units, but you can do it. If you want to give it a try without Wukong, go for it. Here's for RC8 through RC14. This is the Wukong team. See the Wukong symbol? He'll take you up. And this is the RC15 to RC21 team. This is where you start one-shotting. And of course, the RC21 team's just a freaking video of Wukong one-shotting things like we just showed you. And here is 5 different teams for Rift. Oh wait, no, never mind. This is the Kane. Don't look at that one. That's the Kane Rift. But yeah, with and without Wukong. Those are your two videos if you want to try to tackle Rift. Somebody asked earlier what the difference between Rift and Hunts are and which is better. Epic 7's a game of resource management, right? You want to focus on your maximum return on investment. You want to make sure you're getting your primary need filled. Rift will give you the most gear and the best gear. And that's really, really nice. And defense break, easy game. Now Mukacha can die off. And now it's the exact same team, but with a defense break, so it's even faster. And plus, I'm keeping the plus 26 speed, so my Wukong's going to cycle even more. Where was I? Okay, so Rift's going to give you the best gear. Rift gives you more Reforge mats, but they're spread out. The Reforge mats are random. And Rift has a battle pass that's really, really nice to complete. It's got some nice loot in it. But that's about it. Wyvern gives you specific Reforge mats, right? If you only need to level up your speed gear, you only need to reforge your speed gear, you just want Wyvern Reforge mats, you are sick and tired of getting Golem Reforge mats, Hunts are nice for hyper-focusing on Reforge mats and getting that. Wyvern gives a little bit more gold from farming it than Rift, but Rift is a little bit less gold for leveling the gear because you don't have to craft it, and crafting gear costs gold. Rift will not give you bookmarks. Rift will not give you mystics. Those things are in the loot drop table for hunts. So you get a little bit more that way. So I guess a lot of people are farming hunts right now because they're desperate to get Harsetti, and I don't blame them. And the whole reason they're farming Rift is they're like, yeah, sure, it's 30% less gear, 30 to 40% less gear depending on your math and your RNG, but it lets me get Mystic Metals, which I need to pull Harsetti. And some people are like, hey, I'm sitting on plenty of Mystic Metals, my Harsetti is guaranteed, so I'm just going to go ahead and farm Rift and get the maximum gear. Some people are sitting here farming Wyvern and Rift and stuff, and they've got like 10k gold, and it kills me. If you're out of gold, go farm Unrecorded History. Can you try the Wukong with speed imprint on Snow Crystal? Sure. What is, Tristen, what is most widely used Zeo build? Most widely used Zeo build is probably, hybrid damage, right? About 100 to 150 effectiveness and the rest pumped into damage. 0 damage, full effectiveness builds are really, really nice. It's nice to be able to silence and push back those, pesky Soul Weavers that have high effectiveness. And, Probably the most common is the hybrid. Second most common is going to be just the full-on DPS build, and the third is going to be the full-on effectiveness build. It used to be the other way around, but effectiveness has fallen away a little bit. People are going more damage. Yeah, every weekend I think there's stacked buffs. That's why I'm saving most of my Leafs for the stacked buff weekend. I want to see how that pans out. Oh, the other thing, too, even though I said you get more Reforge mats, but they're random, I'm not entirely sure that's true in the long run, because there's a chance that hunts can drop 50 Reforge mats. Rift never does. So I think over a long period of farming, you might get more Reforge mats farming the hunts, and at very least they'll be specifically tailored towards the hunt you're farming. Yeah, right now we've got basically it's like we've got an 8-week long buff event. There's additional buffs that are coming on the weekend that should stack up. Yeah, Rift gives Expo passes too, just like hunts. Let me see, you wanted to try Wukong on Snow Crystal, right? Like this. Take care, Information Mimic. Thanks for coming by, buddy. Does the artifact effect stay after a character is dead? It does not. Artifact effect goes away. So if you put, like, if you're using Christie to send ER to the back row and Christie dies, her ER still goes to the back row, but the artifact effect goes away. Is there a video for the current Hall of Trials? Nope, it's on the list. It's on the to-do list, Tenebae. It looks like Abyssal Euphines really good there is what I'm hearing, but I have to sit down and play with it a little bit. Yeah, he's definitely taking more turns. I think if you have snow crystal and it's not being used on somebody else, this looks fine. Yeah, I think I was 8 bars left at 16 turns, and it looks like we're 8 bars left at 18 turns. So yeah, it's I'd say about 5 to 10% more efficient. Hey Mark, good to see you, buddy. Welcome, welcome. I used the non-Wukong team. I'm glad it worked for you, buddy. Is there a way to calculate how many mystics per hunt per leaf or energy? I'm sure somebody mathed out what the percentage drop rate is on the loot table, but I don't know it. It's not a lot. Like a whole ass day of non-stop farming, you might get like 2 or 3 pulls. But you know, that could be the 2 or 3 pulls you need. Yeah, I saw it, Reborn. Whiners win. I am a little disappointed that they're pulling it because people don't understand RTA, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad I don't have to fight against it. It looks really unpleasant. Looked really unpleasant to fight against. My opinion on it? My opinion is it's shitty that we're rewarding people for being stupid, but at the same time, I think she was potentially game damaging. I think her kit had the potential to unbalance RTA and make it less fun. So guess I'm kind of okay. RC15 team, no Bologna, no Green Auden. Use Vivian. And... God, no Bologna, no Green Auden. We're short a defense breaker. It's gonna make it tough. Do you have Wukong, though? IV 555, tell me, do you have Wukong? Okay. This is a link to the RC2 to 14 video that we were talking about. Let's take a look at the, clicking the battle back button. You said you were at RC15, right? Oh, wait, that's RC21. My apologies, my apologies. Where is the RC15 one? RC15, here we go. Oh, I did this one on stream. What's the team? What's the team? Okay, I assume this is the video you watched and you're trying to get around, Okay, no Bologna, no Green Auden. Who do we have as an alternate to Bologna? Don't have Green Auden. Did this so long ago. No Bologna, no Bologna, Bologna, Bologna. Bernard. Ray, no Bologna, no Bernard, no Auden, no Mui, no Bassar. Okay. Damn it, just show me. Let's see if I can force it, right? I might be able to just force it. We can simulate doing RC15, right? By taking devices off. I can't. I'd have to rebuild half my damn units. Mort sounds like a good idea. Mort in this area. It says 2755 in the description. Sorry, guys. Fumbling around. Let's see. 2755. It says no Bologna or Green Auden, but Green Auden sure as shit's right there. Oh. Well, look at that. Just do it without a defense break. What happened to the bottom half of Bernard? I guess he's behind the boat bulwark. Lilka can work. Lilka sounds like a good option. So that's a lot of damage at level 15 without a defense break. Do you have these 3 units? Because if you have these 3 units, load it up and go. Because at RC 15 with only 13% left, I'd say by RC 18 or 19 it's full clearing, and by RC 21 you're just dumping everybody except for Bernard. I mean, sorry, except for Wukong anyway, and just soloing it. So let's see, let's about right here. Share with timestamp, copy, and paste. Try that. Let me know how it works out for you. You can try rotating Mui out and try rotating, like, say, Mort or maybe even Assyria to see if the defense break works for you. Can I show my albedo? Sure, sure. She lost a good chunk of gear because I don't play that style very often, but there she is. What buffs are stacking exactly? Can you elaborate, Slash? I'm not sure I'm picking up what you mean. Which EE is on Mui? Oh, people are asking how much longer for Rift. Rift's been around for about 3 months, so there's about 3 months left on it. You can't dual attack in Rift, so this does nothing. Increases punishments a chance. You can't silence the Rift boss, so this doesn't matter. Increases punishments chance. I guess I would go with this one to take her from a 75% chance to an 85% chance to target. Oh wait, it's punishment, not a S1. Punishment. Chance to inflict bleeding and stun. I guess of all of them, the S2 is the best one for the bleeds, but none of them really matter. It's whichever one gives you the effectiveness that she needs to stick target. Oh, the weekend buff stacks. Let me see. Let me find Stove here. So the entire time, all 8 weeks, we effectively are getting what is our normal buff event every single day. But on the 15th, 10th, 12th, basically every weekend, they're going to do additional buffs that'll stack with these, right? So instead of a 50% more hunt equipment, it's going to be 70%. Well, sorry, that's crafting mats. We'll get, yeah, 50%, yeah, sorry, 50% craft mat drop. It's going to be 70% craft mat drop. Instead of 50 AP, it's going to be 70% AP. Rift drop rate's going to go up to a 30% drop rate increase on Rift. Now, these are going to rotate, right? They'll probably do, like, they'll do this one on Friday, and they'll do these two on Saturday, and they'll do this one on Sunday. You know, they're kind of like they normally rotate buff events, but these will stack up with this. So if you're really, really wanting to min-max, wait for the weekend to dump your leafs, right? Or wait for these windows, these 3-day windows. They're only 3 days long. I don't know if they're doing all at once or one at a time, but these will stack up with these, right? What do I max first, Sweet Miracle or Elbrus? Yes. I'd go with Sweet Miracle. Elbrus is really, really, really nice, but it's RNG. Even at level 30, it's RNG. Sweet Miracle is an artifact that you need to work. You want it to work, and, where's my Laya? You want this 100% chance. When Elbrus doesn't work, that's okay, it'll work the next time. When Sweet Miracle doesn't work, it can brick your runs. So yeah, if you're talking about using bottles, you definitely bottle Sweet Miracle. What's up, Ed Squared? Hey, thanks for the sub, buddy. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, Sweet Miracle's also limited. You're not going to see this thing dropping into your daily pulls like you will with Elbrus.
What's up, Tristen and chat?
Can I show you some Guild War defense teams for mid-game player? I'll show you something even better. Uh-oh. Locked up. Okay, so you want to go to, just go to Google and search for Fribbles Guild War. Search for Fribbles Guild War. Fribbles E7 Guild War Meta Tracker. Click on this. And then scroll down. Top 50 most common meta defenses in the past 4 weeks. Their win rate. And remember, these win rates are very subjective. This might be, the win rate might be looking like this because this guy's a whale. These guys are whales, or it might look like this because they only fought like newbie guilds and just, you know, the newbie guilds couldn't beat them. But should give you an idea of some really good defenses. And if you're like, all of these defenses have C poly, I don't have C poly, you can tell it to exclude C Phantom Politis, and you can search. Oops, sorry. I'm doing, this is build a defense. But you do have Genua. So let's build a defense with Genua. And exclude C Phantom Poly. Yeah, so it's looking for ones with C. Why didn't it exclude Poly? Oh yeah, it did. It excluded Poly. So now I'm looking at all the defenses that include Genua, but don't have C Phantom Poly. Here's a link to this. I'm not saying these are going to work great for you, but if you're looking for ideas, you know your own gear better than I do. You know some good defenses better than I do. This can give you a starting place and a place to tweak things. And if you find that it's just not working for you, try a different one. Try it with different gear. Try it with different setups and see what works best for you. But remember that Guild Wars is mostly solved. It's somebody who knows what the heck they're doing in Guild Wars. They're going to beat your defense. Usually the only time you lose a Guild War defense is when you got gear gapped or seriously, seriously surprised. I have one of the best Guild War defenses in the guild. I only got 1 green shield yesterday. Don't look at this. I actually didn't have gear on my units. That was kind of embarrassing. Normally I proc some green shields. But mostly I lose. Because it's really, really, really hard to defend in Guild Wars. Do I have all the characters? Yes. I have multiples of many in all of them. So yeah, try that out. See if it helps you out. Oh, and pro tip, if you're also getting ready to fight somebody in Guild Wars and you can't for the life of you figure out how to beat Politis, Selene, Genua, you can use that same tool. And I recommend you don't do this too often. You don't want to, grow dependent on it. You want to learn the game. So try to figure it out yourself, but you can come in here and type in Genua, Selene, and Sea Phantom Poly, right? And tell it to search, and it's going to say, these are the teams that were most commonly used to kill that team. 19 people won, nobody lost using this team to fight this team. These were successful, it had some losses. These weren't used as often, but they worked, so you can find ways to beat defenses using this. And mind you, gotta understand the unit interactions they're gearing. Was this a slow effectiveness poly or a high damage poly? You gotta kind of understand how the builds are put together, but it can give you some ideas if you're just stumped and can't figure out how to defeat a defense. What is the best stuff to buy from the arena shop for new players? You're talking about... Oh, wait, no, you're talking about the shop, right? Shop. Conquest Point shop, right? This shop. Some of these gear are discounted heavily. So it makes even though they're kind of a lower end gear, it makes them more valuable. I would chase the speed sets. And second after the speed, I would probably go into the destruction set. And then I'd look at the support sets after that. Penetration, effect resistance, HP. Crit is a nice support set. And maybe climb into the counter immunity later on when you're a little higher up. But all the gear is worth getting and trying. But yeah, speed and pen have the highest gear score, so they have the most potential to be the most impactful for your units. And pen is just a really nice set to pick up early on because it is so hard to farm early on. Is it still worth the triple S Landy? I think Landy is one of the best units in the game. I think there's an argument for she is the best unit in the game. And I say that staring New Moon Lunar right in the face. Damn it, Landy, where are you? Landy, who stole your Elbrus? Freaking ancient inheritance. I gotta go through my gear of the fine-tooth comb and fix everything from AI. I mean, her imprints attack, so it's one of the lower value imprints, but she is such a powerhouse unit. I think you want to... I think she's worth the imprints. Typically, when you're talking about imprinting, like who you use slates on and stuff, crit chance, effectiveness, and effect resistance are kind of the three most popular stats, right? Because effectiveness and effect resistance are so important on debuffers and people who can resist debuffs, cleansers. And crit chance is the highest gear score version for sure. But attack's not bad on a unit that does as much damage as Landy does. A stat-hungry unit like Landy. No, a lot of people have slowed her down and just gone full-on nuclear. I'm still pretty happy with where mine's at. I've been debating on dropping the immunity set for a unity set, just to be that guy. I'm going full-on nuclear on unity too, but it's not the right build. I have to figure out where the gear went, but I got one that's 1500 attack. Boots must be in storage. Anyway, it looks like this, but it's 15 by 16, right? It's 1500 attack, 16k HP. On Unity. Oh, I know what it is. I was looking at the boots, not the... I'll have to chase it around and figure it out, but yeah, I've been thinking about resetting the, resetting her gear. Can you have my second Ilanov? Hell no. Once this girl's all grown up, she's gonna be a damage Ilanov, maybe even an injury Ilanov. Because I really like this, but I like having the option of a damage one, too. Her imprint is limited to slates. Yeah, slates or doing a custom summon on a Landy banner. This is true. I think Stenny's EE is really, really good for her, and I think it's going to change the way she's used. I think it'll let people build her with a lot more health. A lot more bulk. I think it's going to bring lifesteal and counter back as an option. I think it does a lot of things for her. And the thing I think it does the most for her is I think it's going to let her just absolutely obliterate Abyss floors now. She's going to scale up so freaking fast. Injury Ilanov, yeah, she will max injury you in almost one hit. 44% of the max 50 in one hit. No, it's plus 50% per time she hits, Joe Pet. Frickin' Joe Pet. Hey, Ataya, that... Man, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that the Rift video worked out for you. I'm trying to reduce attack, stack more HP, but my lifesteal build is coming back. I am actually kind of curious what a Unity set with Crimson Moon might do on her to people. Favorite skin? Yeah, I have a favorite skin. Mother of God, look at her. Glorious. And check her out in the lobby. She looks so happy. Except that's not her. Oh, they got the Skystones to specialty change working. I noticed they took my specialty change unit sitting at the table away. I don't have Bomb Model Kana chilling out over here anymore. Not thrilled about that. Recruit. Tamarin. So how do you, Oh, for crying out loud. So how do you do it? Oh, wait, specially... I don't have any specially change to spend money on, so I can't check that. What's the recommended stat line for Steny EE? Somewhere between 7 and 14% attack, because that's the only range it can be. Each percent is worth about 14 attack. Keep that in mind, right? It would be, I think it's worth about 14. Let me look here. Let's see, she's got 3964 attack, and we're taking 2767 away. So her base attack is 1179 times 0.01. Yeah, each percent is 12 attack. That's why I'm kind of okay with 13%. I'm not going to sit there and burn all of my coins to get 12 more attack on her. So... you gotta figure out, you know, at what point in time does 12 attack become impactful? 12, 24, 36, 48? I think around 48 starts coming impactful. I think if you only got a 10, I might go ahead and chase higher. But as long as you're 11, 12 or above, I think that's fine. Clear each hunt 200 times? That's 10 days per hunt, dude. It's not that big of a deal. That's 10 days. That's 10 days per hunt just using quick battle and not actually farming anything else. Like 30 seconds a day for 10 days per hunt. And then background battle the rest. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I've heard a lot of people complaining, even whining, about the Adventurer's Pass. And it just comes across to me as, I can't believe they're making me play the game I downloaded to play. It's like... what a surprise. They're making you engage with and play the game. I mean, they're giving so much stuff. The fact that you don't get it all at once, I think that's a good thing. It would overwhelm people and then we'd be bored. Where's that cake? I need to level that up. This cake artifact is freaking banging. Acquisition. Cake? Oh, there it is. It was right in front of me this whole time. Yeah, just quick battle it, you know? Quick battle it, background battle it, set it to background, go to bed, wake up in the morning, get the skill. Next. How much attack do you think Steny needs as a stat line? I think 3k is plenty. I think more than 3k you can be nuclear. I think you get the 3k. If you're going with a DPS build, you try to get it as close to 4k as possible. But if you're going with a bruiser build, then yeah, 3k attack and then just pump the rest into HP and defense. What's the point of enhancing this birthday cake? 198 attack. 212 attack. $234 attack. That's more attack than I'm getting from Spectre Tenebria's EE. But yeah, it's just the base stats. It's an extra 150 attack. You most certainly don't need to do it, but, you know, a buck's a buck, right? Focus on artifacts that need to be leveled first, but once you've got everything leveled, you need leveled. I've been playing since 2018, guys. I've got most everything that I want maxed to where I want it. I got an entire heckin' Library of Congress of Tag's books over here. I don't... So I do stupid things like leveling artifacts just for the flat stats on the artifact. Cradle of Life was in a YouTuber's recommended. They didn't explain it. Any idea? It may have been an old video, but once upon a time, Ancient Inheritance, a side story event that we just finished, had a completely different system, and in that system, Cradle of Life was busted good. So much so that I've got friggin' 3 of them. It was that good. Now that they've changed Ancient Inheritance to where that system doesn't work anymore, the unit has no use anywhere in the game that I can think of. Its best possible use is to put an extra debuff on the Wyvern to make Sigrid's S3 hit harder, but that extra debuff would do nothing compared to what having Daydream Joker on her does. And at maximum, it's still only an 80% chance. There's still a 20% chance that this artifact does nothing but give you 200 attack. It is a dog water artifact. You'll definitely want to get something better later. If you're curious about artifacts, I have a tier list video for the artifacts that's up recently. I think it's a pretty good one. People may disagree on certain things, and follow your heart, get the artifact that you want, but I think it's a pretty good list, right? Clear Banshee, hunt 10 or higher 20 times. Didn't we do this a bunch today? It didn't count all the frickin' Banshees that we did with frickin'... I mean, oh yeah, it did, because we only did 1. Well, you know what? Why not? Why not? We'll just, we'll bring Hunt up. And we will, do this. Banshee. And we need to do it 10 times, so that's 1 plus 9 repeats. That way I don't have to move gear around. That should be enough. I mean, now you can go and do other things in the game, and you've got your adventurous path stuff done. It's people are complaining about having to do all these hunts because it's going to take so much time. It doesn't. You just run it in the background and go do other stuff. Got plenty to do. You think LHC needs a damage buff on her S1? Yeah. Oh, was it 20 times, not 10? My bad. I'll just restart it later when it ends. I'm not sweating it. We'll get there eventually. I'm in no hurry. I'm not playing this. It's not a race, guys. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Everybody wants to get to the end game as quickly as possible. Take it from me, man. The beginning game is way more fun than the end game. Enjoy what you're doing. It's a nice story. It's a complex and diverse game. The character interactions are insane. If you rush through it really, really fast and don't stop to enjoy what you're doing, you're going to miss out on a lot. And it's going to make the end game feel more hollow. Take your time in running through it. Yeah, before you get on the treadmill of, I finally got another piece of 20 speed gear. Now my 390 unit or 290 speed units, 291 speed. I'm so glad I did this for a week. You know, enjoy the part of the game where advancement feels impactful, where you're excited to clear that abyss floor that's been gating you for so long, where you finally win your first Guild War match, where you finally climb into Challenger Arena. Don't get so obsessed with catching up that you miss having fun with the game, because if you aren't having fun with this game, then why the hell did you download it? Yeah, burn the candle at both ends. Let me know how that works out for you. I'd like to see them add more of the challenge abyss. For sure. How's the otherworldly chest exploration on Rift work? when you, it randomly drops up to 4 times a week. When it randomly drops, I don't know if it'll let me go in there with, might not let me in. Okay, yeah, when it does randomly drop, this little blue swirly will turn to a big red swirly. You click on it, and an otherworldly chest will drop a really, really nice piece of gear. I don't know the chances, but it's really freaking low. I farmed Rift a lot, and I've only got 1 so far. But if you farm, I think it's set up so that if you do 20 quick battle, or not quick battles, but 10 to 20 runs into Rift a day, you should get all 4 per week. But it's RNG based, so yeah. Don't forget to claim your last video energy. Oh, dang, thank you. I forgot all about it. That's going away today, isn't it? That's the wrong button.
Don't forget to claim your
flashbang. Damn you, Epic 7.
reward energy and rate the event before it expires if you haven't already. Otherwise, Archdemon will sniff at you living creatures.
I've watched this same video so many times. By the way, got a helm from the Goblin today and a penta-rolled speed, only 14. Yes, the Goblin is, but it didn't cost, it barely cost you anything to level that gear, right? It takes so little. Like 65k gold and very, very few charms. It lets you level the gear super, super easy. The Goblin is for people that just started. They just started, they got all of these units, they selected all these units, and they just don't have any gear to put on it. And anything from the Goblin is better than nothing at all. And once you've got enough Goblin equipment to gear all of your units, and once you've taken those geared units and you start to be able to do a hunt on auto, which you should be able to do by day 2 or 3. Poor Krugerbat losing his mind here. Once you're able to do that, you never go back to the Goblin again. It's literally, Goblin is like first week content, and after first week, you never go there again. Yeah, it's level 80 gear that rolls like level 50 gear. Okay, that should be enough. Get my candy. Just let me get the stamina. I don't want any of this other stuff. Let me get the stamina. You're a late game player and you threw a couple of Goblin pieces on PvE units? Yeah. I'm unsure as to whether or not it's worth farming the Goblin to sell the gear for charms or not.
I will never forgive that goblin for what he did to Aunt May.
Spider-Man reference, really? Ooh. Please be something good. Show me a new tags book. Ah. Damn. Yeah, close, right? Mage artifact. Give me 1 second here, guys. I gotta check something. Just dox the shit out of myself. Item 1 is the... Alrighty, where was I? Best artifact for Vivian on Rift. The best artifact for Vivian on Rift, if you can get it. If you can get it, you go into battle, you go into Hall of Trials, you go into Exchange, you click on this other tab, and you pick up Radiant Forever. Radiant Forever lets Vivian do a 50% more damage on the boss. 50% at plus 30. It's crazy damage boost to her. But if you can't get this one, you can run Cruel Mischief, or you can run Caladra. Both Caladra and Cruel Mischief are a 30% boost to damage. Either of those works too. There's also a world where you can run an artifact that resets her cooldowns too. Yeah, you could also, yeah, I mean, Caladra and Cruel Mischief are 30%, but if you don't have either of those, the free anniversary artifact that we just got, additional 20% damage, that totally works just fine. It's just all about damage. You want her to hit like a truck. Hey Tristen, is there any way I could convince the CMs to uncap the Epic Love coupon? I went in to claim it and it says the limit for claiming it has exceeded. Interesting. Let's see. Can you send me a screenshot of that, Noreen? Because it tell me, is this what it says to you? Hang on here. You go down here, you claim. Okay, yeah, your friend couldn't. Okay, multiple people. Could somebody send me a screenshot of that, and I will shoot it up. No, if you already claimed it, it says you can't register any more coupons. But if they're saying it's saying something different, they're saying it's saying that the number of coupons is exceeded, which means Smoggett needs to add more coupons to the pool. Yeah, get me a screenshot of that if you could. Post it in chat or DM it to me in Discord, and I'll definitely talk to the CMs and see, you know, if that means the event is over, they need to freaking remove this. Did you try, Noreen, did you try doing it through the website yet? Hey, Marky Curran, thank you for the sub, buddy. I appreciate the support, man. Thank you so much. Okay, Eduardo Gomez on YouTube saying that he just claimed it and got it. Is Rand playable for mid-game players? Yeah, he's got some PvE uses. Anybody who can soul burn, pretty much a guaranteed defense break and strip, and do penetration on his S1, you'll find some uses for him. He's pretty good in some labyrinth fights. He's nice when you just start to dip your toe into a low-level arena. He's not going to set your world on fire, but you'll find uses for him. If you redeemed in global, you can't redeem in Asia. Okay. Yeah, it could be an account bind thing. Let me find this site for you. Hang on here. Okay, try using this site. Okay, Noreen, try using this site, right? When you go to this site, you'll get this page. Select the server you're on. Enter your membership number. right? And your membership number you get right here, right? And in the settings, here's your membership number. You can even click on it to copy it so you can paste it later. Enter your nickname, which is just your in-game name, and enter the coupon code here. And submit it. It's going to tell me I already got it. Okay, coupon has exceeded its count use. Try this and see if you get this message. Oh, shit. And you tried in-game. Did you try in-game, Noreen? Or are you on an Apple device? Yes, you tried it in-game, and it says the same thing when you do it from this too. Yeah, I can't believe it either, Justin. It's probably better in the long run for all of us, I guess. She just looks so damn good. Is Elvira good? Elvira is good into Abyssal Euphine and sometimes Landy, and that's about it. She came out literally because Abyssal Euphine was just too good. Other than that, she doesn't have much use. Any easy Azzy 13 teams? Yeah. Yeah, we should be able to build one. Let me see. Ilanov plus Janua or Wukong plus Frida starters in your starter options. Wukong Frida. Wukong Frida, if you really, really love ML Ilanov, you can summon her at the Headhunt event at the end of the year, and Janua, you can't pick up Janua from the selectors, can you? Unless you use the big one. I would still go with Frida Wukong. Frida's less important to you now, but she's limited, and she likely won't be back again for 8 to 10 months. And in that time, you'll find a need for her. And Wukong will give you direct access to Rift. I think that's where I would start for sure. Okay, hang on. Give me 1 second here. Okay, I let him know. I'll tell you what, guys. I've got to wrap it up here. I've got a lot of stuff on my plate that I've been ignoring that I need to finish. So, I'll tell you what. I promise you, I will put out really, really, really easy, new game-friendly hunt guides here over the next several days. I'll make that a priority. I'll put off doing Hall of Trials and get that taken care of. So all you guys will be able to auto and quick battle your way through these adventure path situations. While I upload this stream's recording to YouTube so you can make the 3-star Wukong speed imprint team later, I've already got that video on YouTube for you. Let's see. I think I do. Yep, there you go. There's your video. Literally just has me taking everybody out and putting Wukong on the team. And if you add speed imprints, it just makes it better. Just make sure you take all the gear off because you want your speed imprints to die so they aren't wasting time. And I really, really, really like having Mukacha as one of the speed imprints because he has a defense break on his S3, which speeds things up. For those of you on the Twitch side, there's that video if you needed it as well. Hey, Wood Kid, thank you so much for the sub, buddy. I really, really appreciate it, man. Thank you for the support. Alrighty, let's find somebody to raid into, and then I will get to work on those videos for you guys. Is there any news about the PC client? Nothing yet, Captain Sean. I think with the, Chappie-san, I think with the fact that the only info we have on it at all is just a screenshot that says PC client coming in the corner. I think we got a ways away. I've heard some people say they're expecting it by the end of October, but my gut tells me that that's probably November, December kind of range, but hopefully it's sooner. We'll see. Hopefully they take their time and actually make it good. You know, no lag, no crashes. They actually make it clean and functional. I'd rather they take their time and do it right. Yeah, Flan changes got reverted. The whiners and complainers won, and now poor Flan is not going to be usable. Just like she's not usable now. Makes me sad. But I'm glad I don't have to fight against it. Let's see. Those of you on Twitch, who are we going to raid into? Let's see. I'm going to send you over to Deity. He's doing a new player challenge where he is starting an account from scratch and experiencing it with you guys. So if you got any questions as a new player, he is a wealth of information. Go check him out. And for those of you who are visiting me for the first time on YouTube today, thanks for coming around. I'll try to make sure we stream more on YouTube, and I got to work on some videos. All right, everybody. Take care. Thanks again. Have a good one out there. Good luck on your pulls.
Does that sound worth it? Something fun, we can make a bunch of videos.